Hi, Anita. Natalie here with Usborne Books and More. Thanks so much for reaching out to me. I love our baby and toddler books, so I'm really excited to show you a few of our favorites. I will encourage you to go take a look at the many books we have. These just happen to be some of our favorites, but there are so many more. You can search by, age group. If in the left-hand column of the website, you can search by age and then click on babies and toddlers. You could type in babies first. We have so many books that start with babies first, and so that will give you a good idea too. But let me just go ahead and show you some of the ones I absolutely love recommending for the little ones. So first I want to start with this. It's called On the Farm. There's a couple of these to choose from. And they're great for tummy time because they set up like this, and it gives those little babies who are having to spend some time on their tummy something to look at. And what's really great about it is it's, their first experience with a book, right? It's so fun. So there's a few different tummy time books, and I love these for the little ones. Like, let's get them started as soon as possible, right? And then these are brand spanking new. I wish I would have had these months ago when my now 2.5-year-old was teething. But I do remember having something like this when I was a kid. They were floating around the house even when I was a little older, but these are super great. They're tear-proof, waterproof. You can wipe them clean. And I just like to say they're baby-proof because they're amazing. As far as the paper, they're not cardboard, they're not paper, right? They can chew on them, bite on them, and they're not going to disintegrate. My little guy would chew on every book, and that cardboard would just fall to pieces. So these are great. There's 6 in the pack, and a great option for the little ones because you can trust that they're not going to destroy those, right? Okay. Another one is Babies First. Like I mentioned, this is one of our Babies First. This is our Slide and See. I have a little guy and he loves dinos. What I love about this is the slides that just adds movement to the page. Because my little guy was really rough on books, and while flaps are really fun, he would have just torn them off, bent them, folded them, right? So this allows them to touch and feel and move the objects on the page, the kind of the way that flaps do. There's also some beveled areas that allow for some, touch and feel texture on the dinos. As you can see right through here, you can touch those dinos and feel the texture. We've got these great little slides. The illustrations are just so bright and engaging. Isn't that cute? So as with most of our series, there's several different titles to choose from. So like there's a really cute nighttime one with an owl on the front cover. My little guy loves these finger trails. He loves to run his finger over those little finger trails. So that's the Babies First Slide and See. I love these. Okay, we also have our Usborne Little Peek Through books. This is Are You There, Little Unicorn, but there's Are You There, Little Puppy, and Little Lion, Little Elephant, so many to choose from. These don't have the slides. They don't have different textures, but they do have things to touch and feel, like these finger trails, the little flowers and the leaves you can feel. They also have these cute little peek-throughs that change as you turn the page. Isn't that fun? So these are our little peek-throughs. My little guy, again, loves these little finger trails. So yeah, that's the Little Peek-throughs Are You There series. Okay, a really, really popular series is the That's Not My. So many different titles to choose from. Llamas and sloths and kittens and trucks and trains and princesses and almost everything you could ever imagine. And this is just a classic touchy-feely. That's not my llama. Its patches are too smooth. And by the end of the story, we find our llama. That's my llama. Its ears are so soft. So lots of different textures throughout. And then there's a mouse on every single page in every single book that just lets the kiddos find that mouse for a little extra fun. They just love finding that mouse. And of course, it's like they've never found him before, right? Even though they found him every time. But That's Not My are really popular. Another really popular series are the Don't Tickle books. This is Don't Tickle the Hippo. We have the lion, the tiger, the bear, and the dino as well. I do know that there are a couple that are out of stock. It's hard to keep these ones in stock. It's a classic touchy-feely with the added element of sound. So there's an on-off switch on the back to save on battery. The illustrations are just so bright. I love these, how fun they are. We've got these great little peek throughs. We've got these beveled edges that are great for those little fingers learning to turn the pages. It says, "Don't tickle the monkey, you might make him howl." I must have turned it off. There we go. And then by the end of the story, oh no, now look what you've done. We've tickled all the animals. And at my house, we always have to have a little dance party with that one. Another one that I love is our quiet time music book. It's similar to the Don't Tickle with the sound element. There's no touchy-feelies. There's no finger trails. There's no flaps. There's none of that because it really is meant to bring their energy down. And as you can see, the illustrations look so different than the other ones I've shown you, a little bit more subdued, a little bit more calming. On every single page, there is a button with a different song. My little guy will sit and push every single button and listen to every single song. And I love this book because it really does serve to settle him down. And he is a higher energy kiddo. And a lot of times after we read a couple of books and end with this one, I can say, "Are you ready to go get in your cozy cribby?" And sure enough, he is. So I love this. For me, it's like magic. Of course, you never know if it's going to work for everybody else, but I love the Quiet Time music book just to bring his energy down a little bit. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up here, but I did want to show you a couple of other favorites. Goodnight Chameleon, Goodnight Owl. Goodnight Chameleon is about colors and Goodnight Owl is about numbers. I'm going to show you why I love it so much. As I mentioned, my little guy was super rough and we couldn't do the flaps, but then we were introduced to the felt flaps and he could not cause any damage at all. I love these books because he really did want to lift those flaps. They're just so fun to find what's hidden behind them. He will look at this book over and over and over again and loves finding the animals. And now he can count them as well because that's something that we practiced over and over and over again. And another reason I love these books is because it really allows us mamas to just work in some of those learning basics with these books. Us Born in Books and More loves to fit in, colors and numbers and shapes and opposites everywhere they can. And I love that because it just helps me not worry so much if I'm getting enough into his little head. So that's Goodnight Chameleon and Goodnight Owl. And then I did want to show you, we have the little lift and looks on customer special right now. For every $40 you spend, Us Born Books and More will offer you a deeply discounted customer special. The pack, I believe there's 3, and they're normally about $40. They're 50% off. You can get them for about $20 right now. And they are just really fun books. Look at how bright and engaging those illustrations are. The flaps are super fun. My little guy, now that he's, 2.5 almost, he's becoming much more gentle. So we can look at these on our own now without mommy sitting right next to him. But we love this book. It's so much fun. He loves these flaps and the little peek throughs and finding the little animals all throughout. So definitely, if you're interested in that, take a look at our customer specials. There's lots of good ones right now. So I'm going to just leave it there. If there are any other ideas you'd like to take a look at, I'm happy to help. Just reach out and let me know. And thanks again for reaching out and joining us for the party. Bye, Anita.